The courtroom is a theater of human drama, a place where fates are decided with the strike of a gavel. For most, it is a room of cold procedure, of black and white law. But in one unique courtroom, something extraordinary happens, something that defies the very expectation of justice itself. What if the person holding all the power looked at you not as a case number, but as a human being? What if your failure was met not with scorn, but with a profound lesson you would carry for life? This is not a fictional drama. This is the real-life courtroom of Chief Judge Frank Caprio, a place where traffic violations are transformed into turning points, and where a powerful, almost forgotten form of justice is served daily. Today, we dissect one of his most legendary cases, a simple matter of a suspended registration that became a masterclass in responsibility. This is not just a story about a judge being nice. This is a strategic, psychological blueprint for holding people accountable in a way that truly changes behavior. We will break down this encounter into 5 distinct acts, just like a play. You will witness the precise moments where Judge Caprio turns a legal procedure into a life lesson. You will see how he disarms defensiveness, establishes undeniable truth, and forges a covenant of responsibility. By the end of this video, you will understand the mechanics of compassionate authority. You will learn how to apply these principles not in a courtroom, but in your own life. As a parent, a leader, a manager, this is the art of wielding power with humanity. The bailiff has called the case. The defendant approaches the bench. Let the proceedings begin. The defendant, a young man named Dwayne, stands before the bench. The charge is clear: driving with a suspended registration. The court clerk has read the docket number. The legal machinery is poised to turn. A standard fine would take 30 seconds. But Judge Caprio does not look at the file. He looks at the man. "Good morning, sir. How are you doing today?" This is Act 1. Empathy before adjudication. It is a deliberate, tactical opening. In the theater of the courtroom, everyone expects the stern voice of the law. Instead, they hear the calm tone of a neighbor. The judge leans forward. He asks about Dwayne's life, his work, his struggles. "You're working, trying to do the right thing." This is not small talk. This is strategic humanization. He is building a bridge of trust across the vast power imbalance of the courtroom. He is searching for the context behind the violation. With every gentle question, the walls of defensiveness around Dwayne begin to lower. The defendant becomes Dwayne, a person worthy of being heard. This foundation of respect is non-negotiable. It is the bedrock upon which the entire lesson will be built. But a courtroom cannot run on empathy alone. The law must be acknowledged. This brings us to Act 2, a moment of brilliant psychological maneuvering, establishing the uncontested truth. The judge now pivots. The friendly tone remains, but the questions become pointed, factual. The registration on the car is suspended, right? And you knew that the registration was suspended, correct? Notice the phrasing. He does not accuse. You drove with a suspended registration. He guides. He uses the phrase right and correct, inviting confirmation, not demanding a plea. And Dwayne, disarmed by the initial empathy, readily agrees. Yes, sir. In this moment, Dwayne voluntarily becomes a witness against himself. He vocalizes his own fault. This admission, spoken from his own lips, holds more power than any evidence presented by a prosecutor. The truth is no longer a charge on a docket. It is a confession from the stand. The fact of the violation is now an uncontested, mutually acknowledged reality. The stage is now set for the judge's masterstroke. The truth is now on the record. The violation is admitted. In any other court, this is where the gavel falls. But here, in Judge Caprio's courtroom, the real trial is just beginning. This is Act 3. Connecting actions to real-world consequences. The judge leans in, his voice dropping slightly, becoming more intimate yet intensely serious. He is no longer just establishing facts. He is building a scenario. Let me ask you a question. What would have happened if you had an accident? What if you hit someone? That person could be in the hospital right now, with massive medical bills, their life altered forever. In this moment, the courtroom expands. It is no longer about a piece of paper from the DMV. It is about a potential life shattered, a family devastated. The judge masterfully pulls back the curtain on the hidden domino effect of a single irresponsible decision. The suspended registration is no longer a bureaucratic error. It is a potential catalyst for human tragedy. He makes the consequence tangible, visceral, and unforgettable. Now put yourself in that courtroom. Think of a time you took a shortcut, drove when you were too tired, signed a form without reading it. Did you see the potential chain reaction? This is the terrifying relatability of Judge Caprio's lesson, and this is where he delivers his stunning narrative twist. Act 4. The Power of a Second Chance. After painting that bleak picture of what could have been, the judge does not reach for his fine book. He looks at Dwayne, seeing not just a man who broke the law, but a man who now understands the weight of his actions. I'm not going to find you responsible. I'm going to continue your case for 6 months, and then I'm going to dismiss it. The dismissal is not an absolution. It is a conditional pardon, a probation of trust. It is a verdict that says, I see your character, I see your situation, and I am investing in your capacity to learn and do better. This act of grace, coming immediately after the stark lesson on consequences, is emotionally disarming. It transforms the fear of punishment into a profound sense of obligation, an obligation not to the law, but to the man who showed such unexpected mercy. The case could end here. Justice, in its most compassionate form, has been served. But Judge Caprio is not finished. He is about to seal the lesson in a way that will ensure it lasts a lifetime. This is the final and most powerful act. Act 5. Forging a Covenant of Responsibility. The judge's voice is firm, yet it carries the warmth of a mentor. He looks Dwayne directly in the eye. This is no longer a judge-to-defendant exchange. This is a solemn vow between two people. But you have to promise me. You have to look me in the eye and promise that you will never drive that car again until it's fully registered and insured. Do I have your word? This is the covenant. This is the masterpiece. Dwayne is not being let off because of a loophole. He is being entrusted with his own redemption. The promise he makes is not to a faceless system, but to the man who showed him grace. This personal covenant carries a weight that $1,000 in fines never could. It is a bond of honor. Dwayne's, "Yes, sir, I promise," is not just an answer, it is an oath. Let us now summarize the 5 acts of this courtroom drama. Act 1. Empathy before adjudication, disarming the defense. Act 2. Establishing the uncontested truth, securing a personal confession. Act 3. Connecting actions to real-world consequences, revealing the true stakes. Act 4. The power of a second chance, granting conditional grace. And Act 5. Forging a covenant of responsibility, sealing the lesson with a personal oath. This is the blueprint. But what is the ultimate case-closing argument? What is the one truth that makes this more than just a feel-good story? The final gavel is about to fall. The bailiff calls the next case. Dwayne leaves the courtroom, but he does not leave with just a dismissal. He leaves with a lesson etched into his character. He leaves with a promise to uphold. The final synthesis of Judge Caprio's powerful lesson is this: true authority is not the power to punish, but the wisdom to transform. He demonstrates with stunning clarity that the highest form of justice is that which repairs the individual, not just penalizes the infraction. He is firm on the principle, yet soft on the person. This is not a weakness, it is the highest strength. He holds a mirror to us all. In our own domains, as parents setting rules, as managers enforcing deadlines, as leaders guiding teams, we wield a gavel every day. The ultimate question he leaves us with is this: are you using your gavel only to punish, or are you using it to build a covenant of responsibility? Are you a warden of rules or an architect of character? The court of public opinion is now in session, and we want to hear your verdict. Did this lesson on responsibility change your perspective? Let us know in the comments below. We read every single one. If this case moved you, your next assignment is to watch Judge Catches a Woman Lying, Then Does the Unthinkable. It is another stunning example of this philosophy in action. The link is on screen now. Watch it next. This court is adjourned.